is up? If you could not already tell by the title of this video, we're doing 1 hour of street photography in the rain. If you know absolutely anything about me, you know I love shooting photos in the rain. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it, you know I'm about it. It's just a different vibe. You have people walking around with umbrellas. All the colors are popping because everything is saturated with rain. It's just moody as hell. I know it's gonna be dicey. We're gonna get wet. It's gonna be an adventure, but hey, I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. I'm gonna wear a GoPro, give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes of what I'm doing. We're gonna have a good time. Now, before I start this adventure, I'm just gonna address this now before all you tech geniuses out there ask me what I'm using to shoot. I'm using the Canon EOS R. I'll be using my 50mm 1.2 and my 16 to 35mm. These are old Canon lenses, they're all L series. If you wanna roast me for not using Sony or Fuji or Nikon, roast me. I back Canon 100%. I always have and I always will. So we're just gonna get that out of the way now. Alright, what's up guys? So for this next section, I'm going to do a voiceover while I wear the GoPro, just to kind of explain my thought process while I'm making some of these photos. But initially you can see I'm just kind of getting my settings right, checking my white balance, checking my exposure, making sure everything is where it needs to be. The first shot I make here though, just kind of a warm-up shot, nothing crazy. I see this truck and I notice the headlights kind of bouncing off the ground from the reflection. Like I said, not too crazy of a shot. I like how the building's kind of like those deep dark tones and the yellow's just sort of popping on the truck, but just a good warm-up shot like I said. So after that, I've been walking around now for about 10 or 15 minutes. There's really no one in the city, nothing's happening, but this guy passes me. I notice he's got an umbrella, he's got a suit on. So naturally I turn around and make a couple photos of him and I come out with this shot right here. I do like how you have his reflection on the ground. It's kind of this mysterious, sort of desolate city vibe. You have that tow truck in the background reflecting some light off the ground. Again, nothing too crazy, but I do like how it came out. So right after I took that shot, I noticed this guy coming down the street. He's got this big blue umbrella just popping. It's super windy, as you can tell by kind of the angle he's holding it at, so I make a photo right here, and honestly this is probably my favorite photo I made of the day. It really tells a story about the mood of the day, the weather, kind of what's going on. I really do enjoy that building in the background. As you can tell, it's abandoned, and he just really pops in that scene, so I really like how that shot turned out. Right after that, I cross the street here. I decided to kind of follow this guy to see if he goes through any cool scenes that I want to photograph, and kind of run up to the corner of the street here because I had a feeling he was going to cross towards the middle. I was going to try and frame him in between the two stoplight poles. I end up getting a shot sort of like that, but the second I made the photo, a car went right through the scene. But I actually kind of liked the vibe that it brought to the photo. It just added a little bit more to the foreground. I like how he's framed in between the street lights. You have that really nice green background with the dark tones of the buildings in the background. So a lot of layers here. Nothing too crazy, but I do like how that photo turned out. So here we are kind of near Wash Ave. I'm near one of the Metrolink entrances. Kind of looking around. I always find myself here at this spot for some reason. I've never made a photo that I just really enjoy. But here I see this couple walking towards me. They're sharing an umbrella. I'm kind of in stealth mode right now, acting like I'm not being creepy. But I snap a photo off here. A couple things with this photo. I really like how the umbrella is sort of popping. It's got some really nice colors. In the foreground though, you notice that little like smoke cigarette, I don't know, thing people put butts in. I don't know what those are called. But it kind of was distracting and I'm too lazy to Photoshop it out. But as you can see here, I'm like hesitating whether or not I want to go down into the Metrolink station, and sure enough, down I go. And I'm actually really glad I did. Right now I'm just kind of getting my settings right. Down here it's insanely dark, so I had to blast my ISO up to about 1600 I believe. just so I can get a kind of a fast shutter speed. I put my aperture to like 1.2 just to bring in more light to my frame, and as I'm walking down here I hear the train, I hear the bell, so I start running so I can try to make a shot, and I end up with this right here. I ended up making one of those GIF or GIFs or however you say it, but I was kind of happy with how it turned out. Again, I like how his white coat kind of matches the bottom of the subway. It's just a really cool vibe, and it really just tells a story. Time for a little update. I'm taking a break because it's a monsoon out there. I thought it was just going to be a light, mellow rain. I could just walk around and be fine, but it's coming down, and I am soaking wet. But thankfully, my camera is weatherproof. I think that's why my other camera broke. That'll be for a different day. Anyways, I'm taking a little break. Gonna let this die down a bit and then head back out and take some more photos. One more thing before I go out to shoot, I would really like for you guys to give me some feedback as to whether or not you like this kind of behind the scenes thing. I know everybody does street photography a little bit different, so it's kind of interesting to see someone else's perspective and point of view. I'm always on YouTube typing street photography behind the scenes, so if this is something you guys like, if it resonates with you, if you enjoy watching it, please let me know. I'm not gonna tell you to like the video, comment, just shoot me a DM on Instagram, or, I mean, you can comment. I'm not looking for comments. I'm not trying to profit off of your attention. I'm just trying to show you guys what I like to do on my days off of work. So, with that being said, we're gonna get back out to shoot. Let's get it. Guys, it's still raining pretty hard, so I'm gonna try some like motion shots using this kind of method. So what you want to do to obtain this sort of shot, you want to take your shutter speed down kind of slow. I'll put all the settings up on the screen to show you how I achieved this shot, but essentially we're gonna go for a blurred background with a subject in frame that is completely in focus, so it looks like it has a little bit of motion added to the frame. I know it's kind of hard to understand, but I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about now. Alright, so I'm going to dive a little more in depth with kind of how I achieved this shot coming up, but the first thing you're going to want to do is take your shutter speed down to about 1/30 or 1/40. Now in order to compensate for all that light you're going to be letting into your camera, you're going to want to take your aperture up to at least f5 or f6 to, like I said, compensate for all that light you're bringing in. I put my ISO to 100. And then I also put my light metering to spot metering, just so I can kind of highlight what I'm focusing on here. And as you see, I get this shot right here. I wish the background would have been a little more interesting. I wish I would have centered the car kind of straighter in the frame, but it still has a really cool effect. You see the reflection on the ground of the car. The car just pops with that red color. You have that matching color in the window in the background. Nothing too wild, but I do like how this shot turned out.